Hey, it's Tom from Tom's Toons here. We just floated right onto the trailer with this 1999 20-foot Tahoe pontoon. Let's hop on it, take a look. This is a great example, boat's 25 years old now, of what's possible when we modernize an older boat like this. Come take a peek, we'll walk you through it. Starting up front, where Corey's standing filming right now, there's about 4 foot, 3.5, 4 foot of front deck space. It's not really used on modern boats. That's why you don't see that on newer boats anymore. We shove the furniture forward a little bit, and then we open up the back for access on and off the boat, in and out of the water. That's exactly what we're going to do with this boat right now. You see the benches go across the whole back. We're going to take it and we're going to do a stern entry railing kit from pontoonstuff.com. It's going to be black. We're going to do a tan teak floor with beige luxury seats. It can be super sharp, way more luxurious looking than this older boat. However, they are MSU fans, as far as I know, which Michigan State University, green and white. I get it. I'm down with that. The carpet's got to go. This green carpet, come with me real quick. Did I mention green carpet? Take a look over here. That's a couple different shades of green carpet. So that's going. It's going to get vinyl. That won't happen on vinyl because it can dry out. That water can't sit and grow things like moss and trees and whatever else. New console, new everything. You're not even going to recognize this boat when we're done with it. Literally, totally different boat. One cool thing about this boat is that for the era, we've got a straight across finish in the back. So that gives us all of the full length that we get to work with. I don't have to modify and move the motor back. It's already been set up that way. So grateful for that. But we gotta get this back to the shop and get to work on it. Fall in Michigan, that means we're getting busy right now, getting boats ready for next season. This is something really common that we do with boats. These are all self-tapping screws that were used to hold the deck to the cross members. Well, you get a lot of them that are stripped out. They've been in there a long time, not coming out. A lot of them did come out, but these ones did not. So we take a small hole cutting bit, I'll show you in just a second here, and we run that around the screw head down to the aluminum, just barely, and then we can lift the boards right off. Now my task is to take a cutoff wheel on my angle grinder. You should always have a guard on that, by the way. Get my safety gear on, got my earplugs ready to go, and I'm gonna cut all these off. You can see there's a whole bunch of them. Just part of the process to make getting the deck off possible. This is that hole cutting tool that we use. We take the bit out of the middle, and that's what cuts in. It helps to reverse it, push down really hard, go reverse just a little bit, then keep that pressure and spin it normal direction, righty-tighty to cut right down to the aluminum. We use this on deck bolts that are real stubborn too, just a larger hole saw, but these self-tappers, it goes pretty smooth. Adds a few extra minutes, but again, it makes it possible. Got the deck going on, and if you've been following the channel, and you wonder if these two get along, I would say so. She would definitely agree. He tolerates her. She outweighs him now, actually. 75 pounds to his 65. Sassy as can be. Here is a tip that we use often. So on the seams, pretty straightforward. We're gonna run them about every 16 inches. But on our non-seams, in this case, we've got what we call a Z channel. It's backwards right now from the letter Z, but you get the picture. This could be a C channel, picture it being a C channel this way. That would be the same, even square tube right here. So what we do is we take a speed square, we line it up with the front edge of that cross member right here, and then we line it up with the back edge back here, and on top we make our marks, and that tells me just for 6 inches there where my cross member is. What I can then do is take my tape measure, I'm going to run it across. You can see that other line on the other side. We do this for every cross member that's not on a seam. I line up my tape measure with that edge, same respective edge down here, and now I know I just need to make my hole. I'm going to cheat it in about 1 inch from my tape measure each side, and that way I get my spacing right and I don't have to chalk line. We used to chalk line them all. This turns out it's quite a bit faster. I'm not wasting chalk, making a mess. So this is how we do those non-seams. A little quick tip for you there. Here's something I'm not sure I've talked about much, if at all, and that's seams. I've got my seams secured. I've run a couple extra self-tappers. You'll see them along there where things were a little higher on one side than the other. I sand every single seam of every single boat that I work on, that I redeck. The plywood is great, but the boat itself being 25 years old, sometimes the boat being only 10 years old, things move, they twist. Maybe they're not as perfect as they were the day they were at the factory with brand new aluminum. I sand it. Sometimes you can see back here, there's a little more sanding, a little more hardware that we had to insert to get it nice and flat. And in this case, not a lot of sanding. But I run over every single seam just to smooth it out. So if you are installing new plywood, you're usually going to have some extra self-tappers or deck bolts. It's not uncommon at all for me to have to go through and add a couple extra hardware, self-tappers, and sand it to make it as perfect as possible. Bottom line, carpet, especially the thick carpet, that heavyweight stuff that's on boats that are 10, 15, 20 years old, that hides all of those little inconsistencies at your seams. The vinyl will show it a little bit more. You might feel it a little bit more. I've taken carpet off and the plywood had huge, 16th to 8th inch different heights between the sheets of plywood. You would have never felt it under 1/2 inch thick or 1/4 inch thick carpet. However, with this vinyl, you're going to see it, so that's why we take the time to do it. Again, I don't know if I've talked about that before, but now you know how we approach it when we're redecking and putting on new vinyl. There we go. Tan teak woven vinyl is on the boat. You can see that woven pattern. Really nice, comfortable flooring. All I got left to do now, I'm going to trim with a nice sharp razor. We'll go tight, kind of like how I did right here. We'll go tight to the plywood, take off the excess, and then I'll go around every 8 inches or so and run a T50 staple, stainless steel ideally, but a lot of these boat manufacturers didn't use stainless. I look at it more as I want to make sure I get the edges down snug so the glue cures up and I don't get any riffles or anywhere that glue didn't quite stick around the edges. So that's why I do it. If you have an F channel, it's got to slide over the vinyl and the plywood. You might go every 4 to 6 inches with staples just to make it easier to get your deck trim F channel style back on. I'm going to do that. And then this is going to sit and cure. We'll come in tomorrow, get the deck trim on, and then we can start putting up the furniture and getting the railings set up. It's been a hot minute since I've worked on this boat, but kind of at a point right now, waiting on some parts for tri-tune conversion we did on that far boat. Got a new motor and all sorts of stuff. There's a video of that boat on our channel too. I'll put a link in that here. But I'm gonna get back to work on this boat. I've got basically a ton to do. The railings are bolted in. I'm gonna go ahead and put the fence supports in, the metal rails or stainless rails that support the railings from the floor to the railing. Then I can screw my seats to the floor, get those set, and start running electrical up to the helm and getting my docking lights and nav lights into the railings, all of that good stuff. Get the Bimini top on because my seamstress is coming in to do custom seat covers on this boat in a couple days. Well, I kind of jumped ahead here. This is the blessing and the curse of showing you all on our YouTube channel how we do all of this and what it looks like and the steps we take. The curse is when things come in and we got to get stuff done, it's really hard sometimes to fit in really detailed content. So I apologize. We kind of got a lot done. And as soon as you get those railings in, the fence supports, you can see that one right there. Once you get that stuff in, things come together really quickly. It's kind of like the catalyst, and then all of a sudden, boom, things are getting tied up and the boat's almost done, which is where we're at. So I'm gonna walk you through and just talk to you a little bit about it. There are a couple detailed videos. I'm gonna link them in the description here that talk through installing our battery in the very back of the boat, as well as our whole fuel system, including the gauge install on this boat. There are more videos, very detailed too. So check out those links if you wanna see more information about this boat coming together. But let me just walk you through, show you where we're at before the final things come together. Holly got started on the seat covers. She'll get as far as she can, but we're missing a lean back seat here and a lean back seat back here. And then we're also missing, this will be a rectangle table right in the middle for the front. But we have everything else essentially in here. Sun deck is all in, that fuel system's in there, 12-gallon tank with the gauge. And I mean, everything's working on here. So we go through, we test it all. We've got our exterior lights. We've got our interior lights. We got everything up and running. Everything's working. Stereo's in, speakers are all in. Had to go with a different speaker than we usually do, but they do sound really nice. Same price point as the Deckmate speakers, but those are on back order. Had to get everything in and ready to rock and roll. Bimini top comes in today. We'll get the canvas on, but the frame is all in, ready to go. Essentially, when these leanbacks come, I've been told they're on their way. The one for there and here, we'll install those. Holly will finish the seat covers, and then this boat will be ready to show you the finished project. Now I get to jump over on this boat right here, get the railings in, ready to rock and roll, and then I gotta finish up just the last details on this boat. You can see the kicker is on, a couple little things to tie up there. That one will go home. Then this one will go to the marina for storage for the rest of the year. That one will go home. We have a humongous project coming in, a 30-foot tri-tune double-decker. Can't wait to show you that project. Lots going on here. Sorry for the lapse on this boat in terms of what we got done. We have videos showing you how to do all the details, so you can look those up, and I will link those couple that are tied into this boat particularly in case you want to check that out. As you can see behind me, the seat covers almost done on this boat. I just put the Bimini on. I've got to fasten a couple snaps for the straps on that, and that's essentially in. This boat just waiting on a couple seats and it is almost done. The next time I check back with you, it will be just to walk through what all we did and show you the after product of what it is. But if you remember back, quick reminder here, it's been a little while since we talked about it. Remember back to what it looked like before. Now that you got a refresher of what this boat used to look like, here it is. Let's walk through. You've seen most of it, but let's just do a quick walkthrough of how everything wrapped up. Starting with the black railing kit from pontoonstuff.com. These are available on the website right now. This is the 8-foot wide kit with the stern entry door. So come on back here. We have a stainless heavy-duty swim ladder that's going to lead us right inside the door. We put a little gate stop in here just to help keep that door open at all times, but that door does swing right shut and closes in the rear. Plenty of space underneath for your battery. If you had a fuel tank that was sitting out under the deck, like a portable tank, it could go there. We removed their portable tank and installed, there's going to be a link in the description for this full video of installing this 12-gallon permanent mount tank along with the fuel gauge on the dash. Still got to put some gas in that before this goes home. But we get our fill right here now, so simple siphon or a long hose tank fills that really easy at the dock instead of having to pull the portable tank off the boat. But big thing is having a gauge on your dash. You can check your fuel level at any time. Heavy duty Bimini with the black canvas with the boot cover, LED anchor light. We did stainless steel cleats all the way around all four corners of the boat. And with these railing kits, it's become pretty much our norm to do our wall mounted navigation lights. It's a LED, it's going to last forever, and our docking lights as well. The wires run down through the floor and the seats. Everything's concealed nice and clean with that style. I was just at the boat show this past weekend, and obviously I'm biased towards restoring a pontoon boat that's perfectly fine structure-wise with new materials. This is a layout that I saw over and over and over at the boat show, at least similar. We've got wide radius corners in the front, bench seats with lean back loungers facing forward, but they're also a really comfortable seat. If I'm hanging out talking to the captain, I can sit here and face back. We opted for a table in the front, totally removable. So if you want to get that out of there for traffic flow or to throw a cooler in, you can. They're nice and stable and they store easily too. Something I recommend to a lot of people is leave a little extra space. We've got awesome room for a cooler right here, bags, towels, whatever you need out of the way. Doesn't impede in the flow. Then we have a traditional layout in the back here with an L couch, rear facing lounger. But again, if I want to sit and face forward, still really comfortable to lean right in here. Tons of storage under these too. We just installed, as kind of a finish wrap up, the night cruise. So this is a photo eye. It's an automatic navigation light system. So if your key switch is in the on position, you're out on the lake, your nav lights turn on when the light conditions are right. We've got a reclining helm chair so we can kick back and relax. It's on a sliding pedestal that swivels too, so I can slide forward and back. And this is our decked out large helm with the luxury finishes. We've got the burlwood steering wheel, gauge panel, switch panel. It's got a glove box for storage. Always helpful to throw your phone, keys, anything in there. And our Bluetooth stereo. 4 speakers, sounds great. I think that's pretty much it. This boat's going home. We still got a couple months left of winter time here. I think it's 25 for a high today. Whew. As you can tell, I've got the seasonal flu cold thing going on, recovering. But we finally got this boat wrapped up for this customer. It's heading home, and we're moving on to the next boat.
Are we taking it home today?
About a half a mile from the shop today, I realized I didn't even have the trailer, but the roads are nasty and snowy and salty, so we're not taking a brand new boat home in those conditions. Not a chance. All of the materials you see here are available at pontoonstuff.com. Literally everything you see is available at pontoonstuff.com. The floor, the seats, the console, steering systems, all of it available. And we've got a coupon code for you in the description of the video and a link you can use to help our channel. Hopefully you learned something from this video and maybe it gave you some ideas when it comes to tackling your project. Thanks for watching.